Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody? For today's session, we have invited Elvina Uy, our Executive Brand Ambassador, to join us. And we are going to talk about how to unclog damn pores, not from our skin, right? Now, many of you know her and she's been conducting many training on our Norwex products. Do wish her a warm welcome. And if you were here with me, I would most probably ask you to give her a round of applause. But since I can't hear it, I would love it if every one of you would send her a lot of loves and a lot of likes, alright, to make her feel really welcome. So don't be stingy, just hit the button and don't let go of that button. So Elvina, I know you have a very busy schedule with Norwex training and sharing on Rethink Business. Thank you for joining us this Wednesday.
Thank you, Ying. Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here, and I'm really excited about this session today because there's so much that we have in store for everyone, and there's something that I want to share with you. In fact, I think I'm more obsessed in cleaning my cloth than my house.
Yeah, I think so.
Because really a very clean Norwex cloth will work magic.
Yep.
And we're going to show you how.
I'll share something with you. I think Elvina cleans the house so that she have a reason to clean the cloth. She really gets a kick out of a clean microfiber cloth, right?
Yes, I do.
Yeah. Now, many of us know that, with clogging, we understand the word clogging, right? And it's something that we don't want in our house. We don't want our drains to be clogged. We don't want our sink to be clogged. And we definitely don't want our skin to be clogged. At Norwex, though, we also don't want our microfiber cloth to be clogged because then it won't do its job. Now, to help you understand why we need to keep our cloth clean, let me draw an analogy to our skin. Our skin is the largest organ in our body, right? And it comes in contact with the rest of the world, right? The skin is a barrier. It acts as a barrier against heat, against cold, against excessive moisture. And you will know that it also acts as a barrier against germs and microbes. Now, if we had a bad cut or a burn, what is the thing that the doctors always help us? They want to make sure that that wound is clean because there's no more skin to protect that open flesh. And they need to keep it clean so that we don't get infected. So that our skin does a wonderful job for us, and we must take care of our skin, right?
Sure.
And similarly, when we need to take care of our skin, we need to take care of our cloth. What do you think?
I can't agree more. Basically, if you don't take care of your cloth, it's going to be moldy, it's going to be smelly. And I think for the past couple of months, we have been sharing a lot about the science behind our cloth.
Yep.
And science and technology usually goes hand in hand. So when we talk about technology, so what is it, right? So picture this, like 40 years ago, we don't have LTE, and now we're moving towards 5G. We only have analog. But it has changed our life, right? From analog to LTE to 5G. Similarly for Norwex, we have 26 years of history behind us. And throughout this 26 years, we started with our first cloth, the Enviro, the little red cloth.
Yes.
But now we have expanded our product range to all sorts of cloth. And we have cloth for every little corner of your house, so to speak.
Every space.
Correct. And it will clean any kind of surface.
Yeah.
Yes, it will clean any kind of surface. It will remove all sorts of items, all sorts of dust, grime, and bacteria, germs from any surface. And so, because of the split, the 1 to 200 of a strand of a hair, it is very important that we keep it clean,
right,
just like our skin. So if we don't clean it properly, it won't be effective. So the first question that I always get from customers after doing a proper, home demo is, how do you clean the cloth?
Yeah, right. How do you clean the cloth, right? Exactly. Now, a cloth, because of its high quality, what is trapped inside, you can't see. But when you can't see it, does not mean that it is not there. So there's a lot of holding power in the cloth, so to speak. So now every time we always recommend that after you have used it to clean, rub it together under a running tap. It is as simple as that. Elvina, let's show our audience how effectively the Norwex microfiber cloth can clean.
Okay.
And later on, I'm going to show you how a common cotton cloth can clean versus our microfiber.
Oh, okay.
But I want to introduce, we've been talking about that all the time. But today we want to up our standard, our class a bit more, to show people, really when we say it cleans, But I'm going to prove it to you because you are the professor. You're dubbed the professor, right? And yeah, we need to really know and understand the science behind the product, right? And what we have done is we have actually invested in this neat-looking machine. It's actually a 3M clean trace hygienic monitoring system.
Wow.
Yeah. Or simply, I call it I call it ATP machine, an ATP device.
Not an ATM, it's an ATP.
Yeah, not ATM. Don't try to, your money will come out of it, okay? All right. So what does ATP stand for? ATP actually is adenosine triphosphate, right? And this ATP device measures how well a surface has been cleaned. That means the hygiene of the surface. You test it before you clean it and after you clean it using this machine and some swipes, which we are going to demonstrate and play around with later. So if you measure the amount of ATP on the surface before you clean, obviously the higher the amount of ATP, the more dirty it is, right? And later on I'll talk about ATP a bit more. Yeah.
So this is a really changgay machine.
Yeah, it is
So it must cost you a lot. Easily what, 5 figure, 10,000 or more?
I'll tell you later.
Okay.
Maybe not.
I was
I'm
in
not
the
sure.
I was in the F&B industry before, and even then we don't have this kind of machine. It's not mandatory for us to do a HACCP certification, but all we do is we have to make sure that our surfaces are very clean, especially our cutting board, because we will be using different cutting boards for different kind of food, like raw food, cooked food, fruits and vegetables. We don't mix them, and we have to disinfect that every night.
Right.
Yeah, because we don't want our customers to get food poisoning. And there will also be health officers and also people from City Council. They will come and do random checks on the outlet. If it's found that it is dirty or is contaminated, we may get our license revoked.
Right.
But HACCP, I believe, is mandatory for food companies, food processing companies.
It is mandatory for large-scale companies that pack food or can food. You know, then they have to get the HACCP certification, and the certification is on the utensils they use, on the surfaces where they prep the food.
And they use this machine to test.
I'm not sure whether they use this machine, but I believe that this would be one of the machines because we actually got this machine from 3M, one of the more reputable companies. But I do know of other companies selling these ATP machines as well.
Well, I've been using a lot of glow germ in all my past demos, so I think this will definitely be more accurate than my glow germ test, right?
It is definitely very accurate. It is expensive. It's way more than 10K that you mentioned. But we believe in our products, and that's why we decided to invest in it. And on top of that, every time you test it with a swipe, it will cost you, this swipe also cost you a lot of money. It costs you about 10 ringgit every time you swap.
Okay.
Do a swap. However, the important thing is it's not really the cost that matters. The important thing is that it is accurate, it is consistent, and it is rapid results. You can actually get the results within seconds. So I'm sure many of you would like to know exactly what is ATP and where is it found, okay? So let me explain what ATP is. ATP is found in all microorganisms, in animals, in humans, in plants, and in food residue, right? So ATP is the energy currency molecule of all living organisms. It's how we measure the living organisms by this measurement of ATP. So let me give you an example. In our house, like right now, we have lights, right? We have the aircon on. So that is TMD, Tenaga Malaysia, giving us energy so that we can have the electricity running in our house, right? So ATP is then measured. The ATP is on the surface. It is then measured by this machine, and they measure it in RLU, which stands for Relative Light Unit. So you have to measure it, right? And the higher amount of ATP, like I said earlier, the higher the amount of ATP, the higher the RLU count. And the lower the ATP, means after you've cleansed the surface or disinfect the surface, the lower the RLU count, and that's how it actually works, right?
I see.
Yeah.
So we have to do a before and after test, right? We have to measure it before and after. Okay, can we try it now?
Yep, that's what we're here for.
Okay, can we try on our phone?
Right. We've got, I borrowed someone's dirty phone and I made sure she has not cleaned it for a few days because my phone, we did a test on our phone and my phone is actually quite clean, so I'm not a dirty girl. This one, let's see here. So this is the phone, not clean, and what I'm going to do is I'm taking out the swab, right? And like you said, we're going to open up the swab and test the unclean surface of a phone. And to make it sure that it's really dirty, you can actually rub your hands on it if you want. Yeah, make it more dirty. So, the instructions for us, how we use this test is we swab an area 10 cm by 10 cm consistently, alright? So I go left and right, and I'm actually counting 10, and then I'm doing it 10 across this way. So it's great, because after when I clean it, or rather you are going to clean it, after when we clean it, we are going to swipe the same surface in the same consistency. So I'm going to put it into this test tube, and inside here is a liquid that is made of water, luciferin and luciferase. Okay, now what was explained to me in terms of luciferin and luciferase is that, you know the firefly, how they light up? They actually have this chemical called luciferase in their system. That's why they light up when they fly around. So what I do is I shake it for about 10 seconds. And then I would put it into this ATP machine to measure. And let me see whether it's on. Okay, I got to wait. Sorry guys, I got to wait a while for it to switch on. Maybe I'll get some help here from Seaman. Seaman, could you help me? So we wait a while, and what you would do is you can start to clean the phone.
Okay, so this is our optic scarf,
yes,
right?
So you can start to clean the phone while we switch on the ATP machine. We forgot to switch it on before we started the Facebook Live. Yes, thank you, Simon. All right, we've got it on, so what I'll do is, now it's important that we do not, okay. I'm going to open it here and put it inside. And then I'm going to press start, and I'm going to turn it around, so you can actually see when it is done.
Okay, this is clean.
Okay. Okay. All right, can you read out the reading?
306 RLU.
Okay. I'm not sure whether you can see. I hope you guys can see. It's 306 RLU. That's the relative light unit, the measurement of the ATP. Not an exceedingly dirty phone, right? We've done it on dirtier phones. So I'll take this out because we cannot leave it in the chamber. You have cleaned that, right?
306.
So this is done. It's
306.
306. I'm going to take another new swab, and you have cleaned the phone, right? So I'm going to swab the same surface area like just now. And this way. And I'm going to put it into the test tube, press it down so that it gets into the luciferin and luciferase. I'm going to shake it for 10 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And the machine is on. Put it in. Start. And let's wait for it. Okay. What's the reading?
Wow, 26.
26. Okay, I'm going to bring it really close so that you guys can see. The reading of the RLU after we have wiped the phone with optic scarf, a dry optic scarf, recorded an RLU of 26. Now, if you guys got a calculator, you take 26 divided by early on was 306. You will see that it has cleared up, it has cleaned up to 91.5%, right? And normally in a dry cloth, an 80% removal of ATP is considered very, very good already. So we have removed up 91.5. Great job. You did a great job cleaning this phone.
I think this is very clean. This is a very clean optic scarf.
Yeah, that's
But what is a good indicator? What is a good RLU indicator?
That's really a great question, and I asked the same question of 3M people. Generally, the measurements are put into 3 categories. It's a pass, cautious, or a fail, right? And however, how high or low the RLU count to be in a pass, a cautious, or a fail category is determined by the users themselves, right? So that is like, oh, that means I can say that it's 1,000, it's clean, right? So therefore we asked 3M, and 3M was kind enough to give us an industry standard. And one of the industry standard they gave us of an indicative table was in the hotel industry. So for example, when they gave us, and they list out a lot of items. For example, items like glass, kettle, ice bucket, things that you find in your room, right? When you go and collect your ice bucket, when you drink water and all that. A passing mark would be anything less than 200 RLU. Yeah.
It's quite a lot, right?
It's quite a lot, yeah, but it's acceptable, right? Between 201 to 599 is considered cautious, and anything above 600 is a fail. For the bathroom, another category of products within the hotel industry, for the bathroom sink, the toilet cover. Interesting, we will soon do a test on toilet cover. Toilet cover, less than 300 is a pass. Between 301 to 599 is cautious, and more than 600 is a fail. Then they also compare a teaspoon. For a teaspoon, an RLU count of less than 150 is a pass. Between 151 to 299 is cautious, above 300 is fail. So it depends on the equipment that how we are using it. That also sets the spectrum, right? And the other end of the spectrum, so the teaspoon was kind of tough, right? So the other end of the spectrum was pillow, bed sheets, and sofa in the hotel arena, all right? And RLU count of 2,000 is pass. 2001 to 2,999 is cautious, and above 3,000 is a fail. That's the standard that they set. So it depends on industry standards. And what I can gather is, if it's something that is close contact, we ingest, that will be a lower a lower count that's acceptable. Whereas bigger things like that would be like a bigger count, right? So the test begins. That was only like a preliminary. This is only a preliminary test. Now we're really going into cutting board. Just now you mentioned cutting board was one of the key utensils that cafes that your health inspectors would come in and check, right? So we ourselves got a cutting board, and we actually smeared it with a raw chicken slice at 12:30. And I think I posted on the Facebook story when we put when we rubbed the raw chicken onto the cutting board, we actually took a test immediately, and it had a count of 75,000. I wrote it somewhere. 75,642 RLU count. We posted it on the Facebook story just now, right? And let's see whether the bacteria multiplied or not.
Yeah, I remember in one of your posts earlier on regarding the how bacteria multiply. They go by binary fission. So the cells would split like 1 to 2, 2 to 4, 4 to 8, and after about 8 hours, you get something like 16 million?
16.7.
16.7 million bacteria. Wow.
That's why you are the professor. You're a really good student.
Yeah, I listened to
Do the rest of you remember what I said? Okay, so I've done this. I'm going to put it in and shake it about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. And let me see. I need to do it as a new test. Put it in and press start. Sweet. Wow. My heart's beating now.
From what, 72,000?
72,000.
Okay. And that was at 12.
That was at 12:30. Wow.
How many zeros are there?
Hundreds of thousands.
Okay.
It's very strange. I don't know why. Now it actually read, 14,000.
320.
Yeah.
14320 RLU.
Yeah, 14320 RLU. I'm a bit surprised that actually the RLU count dropped. Alright, never mind. It could also be the way I swap, but it's okay. We can still do the test. Because now I want to test and see how I can clean it up. Alright, now I'm going to test this first with this other cloth, right? You took down the reading, 14,320.
14320.
Yeah, this is a
This is 100% cotton.
Yep. So I'm going to clean this side. That's why you saw a red bar across. So I'm going to clean this side. I'm going to clean it the same amount of times, 5 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right? So I'll clean it with this cloth. And I'm going to do a test on this side where I clean with the cloth. Oops. Can tell
It's
me when
exciting.
done. Yep, let's see the results. Because we're doing it live, so. How much is left?
5393. 5,393.
So it shows that the cloth have picked up about 50%. There is still on the surface left 5393 RLU on the surface. All right?
Okay, now we're going to use the environment.
So it picked up about 62%.
62%.
Yeah, about 62%. You always need to take it out. It cannot be left inside for too long. So now we're going to do the test on our Enviro cloth, alright? So I'm going to use this side because later on we can, I know you're going to ask me to do something. So I'm going to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I hope I did a good job. 5, huh? Okay, the same. So let's see who. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay. See.
Oh, okay, it's down to 353.
Down to 353 from,
From
14,000. So how many percent is that sort of clean?
Okay, someone has a calculator. 97%.
97% clean, right? After wiping 5 times. If I were to continue wiping it, it will get cleaner, right? Now I want to ask whether they want me to continue cleaning it.
No, I want you to test something else.
What do you want me to test?
Can you test the cloth, please?
Sure. I will test the cloth.
Yeah,
Maybe
always-
after I test the cloth, we can still test again. Alright?
Yeah. I
Okay,
always
so this was the cloth, this side was the cloth where I wiped. I purposely marked it so that I know I'm using the same side. So I want to test the cloth to see what has been picked up in the cloth. Now this is a bit hard because of the static. Yeah, it's very hard to move. Yeah, it's hard to move, that's why I'm actually counting 10. Okay, there was 10 swipes across. Okay, then put it in and press start.
strange.
Yeah.
The record is 193. But why is it so low?
Why is it so low?
Yeah.
Again, it's because of the quality of the cloth. Remember, the cloth is very dense, and it has, like you said, it has 1/300 of a split. So there's a lot of space in the cloth, which is holding all these bacteria that we can't see. That's why we can't see. Doesn't mean it's not there.
But it actually picked up everything,
Obviously,
right?
because you saw that it picked up 97%. And if I'm not satisfied with the result, so I'm going to wipe it one more time.
Okay.
And let's see. So I'm going to use the clean side now and wipe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because a lot of things also could be due to our own, the way we clean, right?
Yeah, after all, it's mechanical cleaning.
Right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the same side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And we sort of have to roll it around so that we make sure that we pick up as much as we can from the surface. That's why I keep rolling the thing. Okay.
So it was 300 and what was it?
What was the reading after we
300.
353. We started off trying to clean a surface of with a 14,000 ATP. Oh. And then we clean it up 97%, leaving about 353 RLU. So I did another 10 swipes of it, and then I clean it. And let's see. Okay.
Oh, okay, 151 RLU.
So now it's
the
151
second wipe.
RLU left, right? So if someone could help me 151 divided by 14,000 and tell me how many percent of the ATP did we pick up? That would be great.
98.9.
98.9%.
It's
right?
almost 99%.
Almost 99. Yeah, if I had actually continued cleaning it, it would have been down to
That's great.
double digit, because when we bought the machine, we tested, we actually got it down to 26. Yep.
You know, we are always asked to rinse it after every use. So shall I just rinse it and we test it again?
Yes, I knew you would ask me that because I know you're a tough cookie. She will test me to the limit. Okay, you rinse it, you do the
Okay.
cleaning.
So this side, right?
It's okay, I remember we start, yeah. So I still got more swipes to go. You can see the...
Yeah.
Yeah? That's right, the cloth still felt clean. It didn't feel oily or anything or sticky. But you can see that actually a lot of debris and I do not know what, some murky color is already coming out of the cloth. So you rub that area where I've, yeah, that's right. And then let's see.
Oh, I could smell the chicken.
You can smell the chicken, huh? Yeah. I think that the multiplication of the bacteria was less because it was actually left in the hole. No, this one does not have. But it's a great chopping board, right? It's a great cutting board.
Yeah, it doesn't multiply. I think if you use wood or something else,
Oh,
it
yeah,
might.
it'll be a
It
lot
might because
faster.
because there's water,
But
it's
I
wet.
don't own a wooden cutting board, I'm afraid. I don't even own a plastic cutting board because I don't like the cuts it made on the what? On the... Wow, I got the EBM cleaning and a Vero cloth for me. Rare opportunity.
Oops. Okay.
Okay, you
So
fold it
now
back
I
to
got
this
fold it
side.
back.
Yep, that's right. So we had this side where
Oh,
we
look
did...
at this.
Yeah. Can you see how murky it is? Right, so this one is very important. I can't stress the importance of cleaning out the cloth every time that you use. So now what we're going to do is we're going to swap the cloth when she has just washed it with water, right? And it had a reading of 3.5. What was the reading on the cloth just now? I can't remember. 193. 193.
100 something.
Yeah, 193. Okay,
The
I
cloth.
need to pay attention to this.
I think it's 152 or something.
What was the reading on the cloth? Okay, the reading on the cloth, if you guys don't remember, when we wiped the cutting board and then we measured the cloth on her insistence, was 152 RLU. Now it's a clean cloth, we swipe it. Let's see, because I will know. You will get the results the same time I get the results. And you will do the honor of reading the results.
Okay. Just with water, yeah? Just with water. It's 20 RLU.
No, don't shake it. Bring it nearer. Yeah. She's so happy she's shaking it.
20.
Yeah.
Just cleaning with water.
Yeah, just cleaning. So imagine, when you clean with, when you deep cleanse it, it will be very, very clean, right?
So it's 20 divided by 152, right? Do you have to calculate that?
Yeah, you could actually calculate that way. It's 99.9% just cleaning with water, right? Now, it's really impressive, right? Ladies and gentlemen, remember the cloth really does an impressive job of cleaning. Remember just now when we cleaned with this, it picked up 98% from the start. This only picked up 60%.
60%.
So imagine how much bacteria this cloth is holding versus this cloth. Therefore, it is important to clean this cloth, right? And when you rid it of the bacteria, then the silver kicks into work, and the silver works faster because remember, bacteria multiplies. So it's very important that we need to wash the cloth after every use. I remember last time when I was growing up, I'm always wiping the table. I'm the youngest. I'm always forced to be the one cleaning up. I would wipe the table and I never wash the cloth. I just like chuck it away somewhere. But just probably leave it like that. Until we want to use it again, then only you will take the cloth to wash. Wrong way, because bacteria is multiplying in the cloth, right? But then of course when you use a Norwex cloth, you have the silver inside there. But it's always better to wash the cloth so that the silver does a faster and more effective job, right? And the washing is not difficult. Like you have seen, she didn't even run it under a running tap. If she's running under a running tap, the RLU count could even be single digit. So running it under a running tap and rubbing it together is very, very effective cleaning. And if you want some deep cleaning, UPP. For the heavy cleaning, you don't have to use it every time, but at least once a week or after you've done really heavy cleaning, whichever comes first. Now, Elvina, you are dubbed the Norwex professor for a reason, right? Because you have done so many tests on the Norwex UPP detergent. Some of the tests that we didn't even think about, you have actually done it. And that's why I've invited you here today to share the demos that you have done, all right?
Thank you, Ying.
What I'm going to do is I'm going to move away all these things first. I'm going to move away my very expensive ATP machine first, because we're not going to use that.
Do you need to turn it off?
Okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pass you 2 detergents that we have prepared. All right? And away you go. You can talk about it now.
Thank you. Yeah, I was told that this was prepared 6 days ago. One with, I don't know what brand. This is brand X. And of course, if you look at this, you know this is UPP. All right? It's not water. It's actually UPP. So I always like to compare. I think first thing will be fillers. So what exactly are fillers? So if you look at this, it's cloudy. And then you can see some floating particle and some sediments at the bottom. So these are essentially fillers, and these are not cleaning agents. So it doesn't help you clean. And whenever you use a detergent that has a lot of filler, you tend to use more because there's very little soap in it. Yeah. It's just all fillers.
The instruction says 2 scoops, and the scoops are so big.
Yes, right? And then this is
it's like barley water.
Oh yeah, it does.
Yeah, barley water, and then all the barley have come to the barley powder has come to the bottom. That's really like a I think it's like
can you see? Can you see it?
1 cm or less, 3/4 of a cm of sediment sinking to the bottom.
How much do we use? How much powder do we use?
I put the same amount inside here and inside here, which is half a scoop, like our standard scoop.
Okay.
Half of it.
Oh, it's just half a scoop.
And ours half, yeah.
Wow.
It's sort of like, how do you say, they absorb and then it became more like that.
Just bulk up, I think.
Yeah, just bulk up. Yeah.
This is UPP.
Right.
So we're going to do a simple demo to prove that this is UPP and this is not water. Shall we just shake it?
Yeah. You know why we're shaking it? We're shaking it so that you see that there are bubbles. So it's actually the UPP and it's not just plain water, right?
Well, now it has turned into
yours look like
soya bean.
soya bean milk, yeah. Let's put it up close so that they can actually see the comparison. Look at all the bubbles that's been created.
Yep.
By this. Wow.
And you can still see the sediments and the particles,
Yeah.
floating around. So this is actually quite bad. I mean, it will coat your clothes.
Right. I know about that.
And UPP is really not just for washing our microfiber. I think that's what a lot of customers thought, that this powder is just to clean our microfiber. It's actually to do everything in the house. You can even use it to clean your kitchen, your cooker hood, your laundry, anything at all. So the next test that I normally like to show is optical brightener. So optical brightener is something that a lot of detergent would have, and basically the effect is to make your white look whiter, your colored clothing looks more vibrant. So what it does is when you shine a UV,
let's put it together.
Yeah, when you shine a UV on it, the optical brightener will absorb all the UV spectrum, the colors in the UV spectrum, but just release the blue tinge. So you'll see something bluish if there's optical brightener. Not yet. Okay, so we're going to test it together. 3, 2, 1.
Bang, bang, bang. Wow, yours like a firefly.
Okay, can you see this? Is this clear?
I'm sure it's very clear.
Yeah, you see it's
You can light
bluish.
up the whole house.
It's bluish, and this is a bit of a violet. It's ultraviolet anyway, so it's violet color.
That purple,
right?
that purple color because it's like UV.
Okay.
Right.
And
even smell the fragrance is so strong.
Oh yes, yes.
Let's close it back, yeah.
So the next thing I want to do is, so how does, yes, we conclude that there is filler, there is optical brightener in this brand X detergent, but what does it do? So I will do a usual test that I've done many times using some cotton swabs. All right, and I will clean my cotton swab with these two detergent, and I will show you what it will look like after that. So this is dry. So I will just dip it into UPP. Oops.
Sorry, I should have used a
Okay,
bigger flask.
and I'll rinse it. All right.
Okay.
So it's just water. So this is as if you're cleaning your clothes.
Yep. Do you want me to open it up for you?
Yes.
Okay, I'll try to open it up.
Okay, and then I'll do the same with another swab, and I will dip it into this brand X. And I will also rinse it. Okay. So one we use our UPP and the other one we use brand X. So this has been washed. So I will shine a UV on it, and it's very clear. You will see the difference in these two cotton swabs.
Yeah. This one is the Norwex one because you turn it the other way.
Yep.
Wow.
So
really like
the
light up a room.
on my right, the one on my right,
This one on your left.
on my left is UPP, on my right is
Yeah.
brand X.
Correct, because you switch it around.
And you know what? This optical brightener is going to stick to your clothes for a long, long time. I was told it's permanent.
Oh my God.
It's meant to be.
You mean I
anyway.
cannot save my old clothes?
I'm not sure, but I think it's almost permanent. And
I know yours is an old blouse.
yeah, I
Because I
know.
always see you wear it.
There was even a this is a pre-Norwex blouse. And I've read something very interesting recently on the website that it is important that for people wearing military uniform, they
Or
are
those
not
who like to go hunting.
Yeah, or those who like to go hunting, they have to make sure they use the right detergent.
Yeah.
Because if they use the wrong detergent, they're going to stand out like a beacon at night.
Right.
And then they will be hunted instead.
Yeah. The animals can actually see this
blue
light.
tinge,
You
yeah.
read about it, especially the deers. So they're not
Yes.
going to be very successful because the deers know exactly
Correct.
where the prey is coming. So even though they're silent, they don't realize that they're actually emitting
Yes,
a lot of light like just now. So that's why the prey runs
Yeah,
away.
it's so funny, right?
Right, yeah.
You are wearing a camo uniform, but then you get
This is what you will
identified.
see. Yeah, the deer is going to see this, not this.
And
Yep.
and there are also a lot of us that people that like outdoor. You like to go hiking, bouldering. whatever, you know, cycling,
Yeah.
you know, you'll be buying a lot of technical gears, and most of it are made from polyester, polyamide. It's exactly same
Yeah.
component as
That's
our
right.
microfiber, and you have materials like soft shell, hard shell, Gore-Tex, Polartec, and so forth. And these are meant to be breathable, and some are even supposed to be waterproof.
Right.
So if you have fillers clogging, you know, this apparel,
Yeah.
it will actually become not breathable,
Yeah.
right?
And they're expensive. These are
Yes,
expensive
yes.
sports wear.
And the worst thing is, you know, if you buy something that is waterproof and then you have the fillers, adding
Makes it-
adding a surface, a layer to it, making it
Non-waterproof.
non-waterproof. So you'll be going out with your waterproof jacket, but then found out that it's not waterproof and it's not breathable, and you're halfway climbing the mountain. So it can be quite devastating. Yeah. So it's something that we have to
Yeah.
be a bit more informed, lah. Yeah. If you're spending so much on your apparel.
Okay.
Since you mentioned
Mine
this is the
new.
old shirt, yours is a new.
Yeah, I bought it after I got to know Norwex in Penang.
So you have been using Norwex detergent
course.
all this while.
Yes.
You want to do a test?
Right.
Okay, we're gonna shine on our baju
Tops and see.
and
So
see
we know what's
whether.
gonna happen.
Okay, this is pre-Norwex. All right, this is pre-Norwex.
Post Norwex.
Okay, ta-dang. Ooh.
Can you see? So please don't go hunting or climbing with your white shirt, okay? But I can wear this nice frock to go hunting. It was fun, yeah. So guys, you know, you can just go around shine your clothes.
Yes.
All right. So now,
What do we
can
have
the-
next?
We can have the lights back on. Now we have repeatedly talked about using the right detergent to clean our cloth. So we have done our test on cloths as well, our mask and Enviro. So I think I should not do it. Switch on the lights. Never mind. Yeah. The mask and Enviro. So sorry, we're going to switch off the lights again. Yeah, because it was getting a bit dark here. And what we did was we used the cloth pretty much the same way first. And in the mask, we wore it first. And then what we did was we washed one with brand X, and the next one with UPP. And we're going to take one light and we're going to shine it on it. But remember, it's just one wash.
Okay.
I did not do many multiple washes.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm not sure whether it's coming out very clear through Facebook, but Alvina, you are the judge of this. Can you tell me?
Yes. Basically, if anything that has optical brightener, it will emit a bluish tinge. So
Yeah.
this is blue, and then if there's no optical brightener, it will remain violet, which
Yeah.
is UV.
Because it's a
right?
UV light,
so
yeah.
it's on your right. I mean, the UPP it has
Yeah.
a violet light.
So imagine this is a mask. You know how close the mask is to our face and our nose and our mouth, right? So it is important to use the right detergent. Then our very popular Enviro cloth, which we do a lot of cleaning. So what we did was we wiped the same surface, which was a very dirty stove, I believe, and then we clean it.
This is very, very.
Yes.
This is very clear.
You can see, right?
Yeah.
The UV.
Maybe because
Yeah.
there are more fibers on the cloth.
Yeah, it's
It
very
absorbs
clear.
more.
But you can see that it's how
Yeah.
illuminated it is with the optical brightness when we use brand X versus when we use Norwex. Right. So again, ladies and gentlemen, when we talk about fillers and optical brighteners existing in a lot of supermarket brands, yeah. So we've shown you that it's actually there, right? And then you heard Alvina said also just now, I think you mentioned that we need to use 2 or 3 scoopful of the normal detergent versus half to maybe 2/3 of a scoopful of the Norwex detergent, right? And that is really because in the other detergent,
There's a lot of
really no
fillers,
detergent.
yeah.
You're paying for fillers and optical brighteners to give you the illusion that your cloth or your fabric or your dress is clean. So now, today, I want to do another test. So this test I'm going to do, can you just pass me? And I want to give credits to Dennis Ling. I hope he's watching this. Dennis, thank you very much. He showed this on Facebook by using iodine, right? And iodine is actually to test the strength of a detergent. So I have 2 brand X here, and one is our Norwex UPP. So what I've done is I've got my iodine here. Right. Oh, wait. I must put my detergent first. This is just water.
Oh.
I need to show you that I really put the detergent. We just branded it. So this is brand X. in such a nice pretty bottle. It doesn't come like that, right? And that's ours. So let me do it. Let me take 2 spoons. And I'm just going to take a bit of it. And
This is half a teaspoon.
I don't need so much to even clean.
A third of a teaspoon.
Yeah, a third of a teaspoon. And I will do the same for these 2. Right. So 2 bread eggs, same quantity. I'll just let it dissolve. Take a while to dissolve. Right, and I'm going to use iodine. Right, and I want to pour the same amount, so I'm going to use a spoon to make sure that I pour the same amount. This is really a very hard bottle.
Oh, there's a lot of iodine.
It's a lot, huh? Never mind, It's really a lot. So that was in a Norwex detergent. I'm going to pour about the same amount inside here. You might want to help me with the other one and pour the other one. So that was about the same amount that I put inside for the Norwex one, right?
To use my right hand.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's a very hard bottle. But the same?
Yep, it's about the same.
About the same. I can hope you guys can see. Let's put it in.
This is like dark soy sauce.
Yep. So earlier on, I said, you know, in commercial, I'm not sure that I mentioned this. I think I didn't. In commercial kitchens, food personnel often use iodine test strips to tell if the dish washing detergent that they are using in the kitchen is of the appropriate strength to get the items clean enough to serve the food. So they use iodine strips, right, in the commercial detergents. Yep. And so what I've done is I put here, so you can see when we say strength, that's insufficient strength to wash the iodine off. We put the same amount inside, you can see that it is so dirty, right? And I saw Dennis do this, so I'm going to do the same and see whether I get the same results. So if we talk about strength, let's use our strength and mix it into their strength. So maybe I poured a lot, but
Yeah, it is.
enough, right? Because the strength is still not enough. Pour
So you
more.
pour everything.
Right. So it's about strength.
So basically this, I mean, to me, this is like there's no detergent at all because you're pouring entirely.
It's about strength, but then we also say that you will have to use a lot more. So if I follow the recommended, they should be about 2 or 3 times more than ours, right? So I'm going to put more. 1, 2, 3, about 3 times more, actually more, and I'll stir it. Right? Now what I'm going to do is, I've got my detergent here, right? Remember this is a Norwex one, huh? To prove to you it's Norwex. Let's see.
Oh, this is so fast.
Right. So this was detergent, not water. So, let's see. This is not, sorry. Yeah, you're going to point. Reason why it's murky? Remember how much of this I poured inside?
All the fillers.
Yes, all the fillers are there. So, fabulous, right?
Yes.
So fabulous, yeah.
So, well, there you have it. We
That's
only
all
need to
there.
use
Yes.
very little detergent for heavy cleaning. Oh, there's something I always wanted to ask. What is this HE on our UPP?
This HE?
Yes.
Okay. Typically, HE stands for high efficiency, right? But this HE actually refers to the washing machine. In a HE machine, the machine will use less water, less electricity, and therefore it requires less detergent. So if you're washing your clothes in a HE machine, you need to use less of this detergent. That's why you see that for ours, we will recommend that 50, you can use it for 50 washes in a HE machine, 33 washes in a traditional machine. So some people will ask me, how do I know if my machine is a HE? Technically, your machine will carry
The
this
HE.
sign, if it is a HE machine. Some physical differences that you can see with your own eyes would be this. In the washing machine, there's a central agitator in the traditional top-loading machine, right? That central agitator. And the traditional top-loading machine twists and turns to wash the clothes,
Yes.
right? In the HE machines, the washer is one big drum, no agitator. One big drum. So how they wash is they toss and they flip the clothes around. So imagine this, roti canai, flip, toss and flip. Right? So like roti canai. Traditional machine like making cake, better. Right? So the clothes will also come out in one roll.
Ah, yes, yes.
But well, that's the old machines anyway, right? So anyway, that's what I've learned about HE machines. Bottom line is HE machines, you need to use less water. It means that it is use less detergent. However, don't assume that the front load machine
Are all HE.
Yes, I think a lot of people say, oh, no central agitator, one big drum, so that is front load is HE. Not necessarily. The traditional front load fills the water all the way to the top. So even when you look at the window, you can see the water going all the way to the top. In the HE machine, you will see that, in the front load one, you will see that the water only goes halfway. So it's the technology of the HE machine that helps you wash very effectively with less water and therefore less detergent. Don't put the same amount in because it's not going to clean up your clothes from
And that's why it's called high efficiency.
detergent. Yeah, that's right. That's why it's called high efficiency. Yeah. So the Norwex UPP detergent is good for both traditional and hand
HE and even hand washing.
Yes, and
right?
even hand washing. So I was going to say even hand washings for the 1 kg up to 100 washes in a HE, and for traditional machines up to 66 washes. So it's actually less than $2 for a full load
Wow.
wash. It's really economical, right? So what other common questions have you got? I know you
Another
buy
one
this
is, yes, can I use Dettol to disinfect my cloth, or can I use the Enviro to wipe a surface that I've already disinfected with Dettol or any kind of disinfectant?
Okay. And then some more I've heard also, if I use this disinfectant, will the silver or the backlog?
Oh, yes, yes. Will it be damaged?
Yeah,
Correct.
okay. Let me address these questions because there's a number of questions in just one question alone. So I will address washing of the cloth first because the question was asked, can I wash it with Dettol? Now, I've heard other questions. Besides Dettol, people also ask, can I use soap nuts?
Soap nuts, vinegar, baking powder, baking soda, and
Homemade
all sorts.
enzymes?
Yeah, homemade enzymes.
Okay. So my answer is this. I'm not a professor, Even you as a professor.
Yeah,
also
I'm
cannot
not. I'm
answer,
also not a professor.
Yeah, you. Folks, we really cannot test all the available detergents in the market, including the homemade remedies. We can't. There's just too many, right? And the question of whether the backlog will be damaged by using disinfectant. Now, silver has been for centuries been used in the treatment for various maladies, problems, or to prevent the transmission of infection, right? It can be applied topically. It is also sometimes ingested. And then sometimes we have silver containers, or we put silver into containers to hold liquids, to carry liquids. And this is really done to minimize contamination and to preserve the water or the liquids that you are carrying. Now, the traditional use of silver was, replaced, with technology and all that. Traditional use of silver was replaced by modern science or modern medicine, antibiotics, refrigeration, pasteurization. All these are modern science ready. So, but nowadays, silver has a rebirth. A rebirth in the sense that it is used as a component in medical devices. And again, it is with the intention of reducing infection, right? Now, silver is not easily damaged. It is strong, it is corrosion resistant, and unaffected by moisture, vegetable acids, or alkalis. So silver is actually very strong. It is very moldable and also very malleable. They're very flexible under high heat. Now, what we have, silver does not react to many chemicals. right? If you go in Google, silver does not react to many chemicals, but it does react with sulfur, right? And sulfur, my friends, are in the air. Traces of sulfur are all in the air. But our unique technology, our unique backlock technology embeds the microsilver in each thread within the cloth. It is not just in patches or how many percent, it is in the threads of the cloth embedded.
It's not a coating, right?
It's not a coating, it is not like putting butter on bread. It is like mixing milk with coffee, all right? It is embedded inside, mixed together. And our test shows that only a minute amount of silver is lost through washings. So when we tested it, the minuteness of the loss is less than 1 milligram. You know how light 1 milligram? 1 milligram is? So the loss is less than 1 milligram, and that's after 100 machine washing. Now, we always say that you don't have to machine wash your enviros every time you use it, once a week. So 100 washings actually equates to about 2 years of washing, and we only lose about 1 milligram. That's really not much silver being lost or being damaged, all right? Now, we have also tested is that our UPP detergent works wonderfully on all laundry, like you said earlier, on all laundry, including our cloths. It is not just to wash the Norwex microfiber cloths. And it is less than how much I said?
2 ringgit.
Yeah. Less than 2 ringgit for a full laundry wash. It's a real steal. How much is the cup of latte?
12.
12 ringgit. That means that when you drink a cup of latte, you could actually wash 6 loads of laundry. Monday to Saturday. Sunday, you go and drink a latte. Okay? Right. That's how much, that's how economical it is. If you don't drink latte, compare to the price of kangkong. Remember when during our crisis,
Yes.
who said buy? Kangkong never went up in price, okay? So compare to that. Now, the other question was, will it get damaged if it wiped a surface that was
has been
clean,
disinfected.
It won't, but my question I would ask is, we have shown you the test. Do you really need to use a disinfectant when our cloth can really remove 99%, up to 99% of the ATP found on the surfaces? You don't really need to use a disinfectant, right? Some more questions that you
Yes, I
find
have. For someone that's allergic to silver, can they use our cloth? And I think there's also a concern that if they were wearing a mask, our Norwex mask, would they be breathing the silver particles into their lungs? Or if I snag a cloth and I start cutting it, will it damage the silver? And finally, I think there has also been some concerns that, whether or not I could hang the cloth to dry out in the sun, and whether it will damage the silver as well.
Okay, so 4 questions here, right?
All about silver.
Yeah, let's talk about allergy, right? Now, when it comes to silver, it's normally about, people would find it in jewelry, the jewelry allergy, right? And that actually is caused not by the silver, but by the nickel, by this metal, nickel, which is used in the manufacture of precious metals, right? Now, in less expensive jewelry, nickel is often used as the base metal to make your jewelry, and then only it's coated with gold or silver, right? Some of us wear silver and we find that it tarnishes or turns black. And I remember grandmothers would then say, your sweat is very salty.
Oh, yes.
Oh, hama. So I really do not know. Yeah, so it could be all this interaction with the air, which like I said earlier on, silver reacts to sulfur, and really in a lot of jewelry, how pure is the silver? That begs a different question as well, right? Now, as to allergy, it's really hard to pinpoint the exact cause of the allergy. I think most standard response in any products that you use when people talk about allergy, whether it is a medication that you take, whether it's a cosmetic that you apply, the standard response would be when you have an allergic reaction, stop and think, retrace back all the items or all the things that you have come into contact with, or all the things that you've ate. Even if you go and see a doctor, they will tell you, can you recall back the past 12 to 48 hours? What were the things that you ate? Then you have to eliminate. It's by a process of elimination before jumping to the wrong conclusions, right? Because you don't really want to be misdiagnosed. I mean, recently I had this case where I started changing my powder to a cushion powder, and I was so happy with it because it gave such a nice natural coverage. And then lo and behold, 7 days later, I came up with a lot of it wasn't like pimples, it became very rough, my skin. And I didn't think it was the cushion that I was using. I actually thought it was a sunblock that I was using, because I had stopped using the sunblock during MCO, and then I took it back. And I thought it was a sunblock, and I threw away the sunblock. Then I stopped using the cushion as well as the sunblock for a while. The face healed, and then I started using the cushion again, and it came out again. So the funny part was, I was using this cushion for a month before this thing happened. So it's really very strange. You know, it's very, allergy is a very difficult thing to actually pinpoint to say that it's the cloth or whatever. So if anybody, any of your customers says that my hands feel dry, feels red after using the cloth, the standard response you should give would be stop using the cloth for a while and then slowly bring it back and try. Bring it back and try. Then you have to find out what actually happened. Right? I can't really give an answer there. As to the mask, right? The silver we use is micro silver, not silver dust, not nano silver, right? It's micro silver, and the size of micro silver is too large to be ingested or absorbed through our skin, right? Or even through inhalation. Like we said earlier on, the silver is embedded. That's very strong. It's not coated. It's embedded. It's weaved into the cloth, and hence, it's not about to come out for you to inhale it, right? And if you snap, the cloth is actually you won't undermine the function of the silver, right? So, but remember, folks, the silver is not really to clean. The silver is to purify the cloth. It stops the bacteria trapped in the cloth from multiplying, and the silver goes to work when it's wet, right? So that's what it does. The last one was
the UV,
out.
yes.
The UV light is actually very, very bad. But it's not about the damaged silver. Silver is a natural metal, right? So it's a byproduct of producing, I think it's a byproduct when you try to mine for some other metals, I can't remember whether it's copper or bronze or something. Yeah, it's a byproduct. So silver will not be damaged by UV light, but for our cloth, we don't recommend that you put it in very hot sunlight because we are in the tropics, the sun is really very intense, right? And what the sun will do is it will fade the cloth, and it tends to, when you put things in the sun, it dries up, it hardens, you know, it hardens the cloth. So you don't really need to put it in the hot sun. That would be the answers.
Yes, that will be.
That help you guys as well.
One last question on recycled microfiber cloth. Okay, a lot of us know that we are recycling the PET bottles.
Yes.
And how do we ensure that these only BPA-free plastics are being used, and whether, if it is not, will there be any toxins released when we are using the cloth?
Okay. All right, that's a good question. Now, toxins from plastic leaches under high heat, right? That's why we recommend that you do not microwave your food in plastics. Or to leave water in plastic bottles and leave it in the car for long hours. Again, that's when the leaching will start. It's only under high heat that it starts to leach, right? Now, we recycle PET bottles into our mop pads, our enviro cloths, and a few other cleaning cloths like the counter cloth, right? These cloths are not used under high heat. You cannot be holding a hot, burning cloth and wipe. Your hands will not be able to take it. So you're not using the cloth under high heat, right? And PET bottles are also generally BPA free. Right?
Okay.
Now bear in mind also, like big brands like Nikes and Adidas are also recycling PET bottles into the
shoes.
Into shoes. And I think there are companies studying how to recycle PET bottles to make the fabric for our clothes as well, right? So there's really any harm of leaching of toxins from the recycled PET bottles into our cloths or the mop pads, right? I think today has been highly educational, and I'm quite tired of standing already. So I think, Alvina, thank you so much. I know you're very busy, but thank you so much. But I think our time is up, and I really enjoyed our sessions today.
Me too. Thank you, Ying, for giving me this opportunity. And just to summarize, the conclusion is our cloth is very, very good. It's a cleaning tool to basically replace chemical, but do remember you need to keep the cloth clean for it to work.
Yeah.
Right?
Just remember, very, very basic. We use a clean cloth,
and clean with water.
The dirty surface. When the cloth gets dirty, we clean the cloth with water, and if it gets really dirty, we clean it with detergent, like any other cloth, right? So that's all we have for you today, folks. Thank you so much for tuning in. Bye-bye.